I asked my fiancée for a prenup. She got mad, said, "We're not rich enough for that." The moment I mentioned my savings, she started hinting that I should pay off her student loans. I walked away and never looked back. Hi, Reddit. I'm Brian, 35, an engineer by trade, and a bit of a finance nerd by passion. Yeah, I'm the guy who reads investment newsletters on Sunday mornings and debates Roth IRA strategies with the barista. 2 years ago, I met Kendra through a friend of a friend. She was bright, funny, and had this chaotic energy, like she might burst into song at any moment. And she often did. Our first date? It included her belting Bohemian Rhapsody in a Chili's parking lot, and somehow I was hooked. Love is strange like that. We clicked fast. Within a year, I proposed during a hiking trip at Yosemite. She cried. I cried mainly because I twisted my ankle coming down, but it was magical. Everyone kept saying we were perfect for each other, but that was before reality started tapping me on the shoulder like, "Hey, buddy, you sure about this?" It started with the prenup conversation. About 6 months before the wedding, I brought it up, not with suspicion, not with malice. Just practical Brian doing what practical Brian does. After dinner, I sat her down and said, "Hey, I think we should talk about a prenup." She blinked. "A prenup?" she asked. "Yeah," I said. "It's not about being rich. It's about protecting what we each bring in. You've got your career, I've got mine. It's just smart." She looked hurt, then annoyed, then straight up offended. "So, you don't trust me? You think I'm with you for the money? That's insulting." Let's be clear. I never accused her of anything, but her reaction escalated fast. In about 60 seconds, it went from defensive to Oscar-worthy performance. The real red flag, though, came a week later. Out of nowhere during dinner, she casually dropped, "So I've still got about $94,000 in student loans. It's been tough keeping up." I nodded. "Yeah, that's a lot. Must be stressful." Then she smiled, a sweet but almost calculated smile, and said, "Maybe once we're married, we can consolidate everything and knock it out faster together." Record scratch. "Wait, together?" I asked, "What do you mean exactly?" She blinked. "Well, like, since we'll be married, your income will help with the monthly payments. It's only fair, right?" Only fair? I nearly choked on my broccoli. I kept my cool, but later that night, I started connecting the dots like a detective with a corkboard and red yarn. First, the prenup resistance. Then, the hint about me paying off nearly 6 figures of debt she racked up for a communications degree that led her to bartending part-time. Suddenly, I wasn't seeing through love goggles. I was seeing through night vision goggles, and baby, the red flags were glowing. I decided to do something I hadn't done in a while, review my own financials. I'd been saving since my mid-20s, living modestly, no flashy cars, no luxury vacations. I cooked at home and used coupons like a suburban dad. Hell, I still wore shoes from high school gym class. Don't judge. They were broken in. Over the years, I'd saved and invested carefully. By the time I proposed, I had just over $460,000 in a mix of retirement accounts, index funds, and a few long-term stocks. Nothing flashy, just disciplined. I never told Kendra the exact amount. She always assumed I was decent with money, but I never advertised my net worth. It wasn't a secret. I just didn't wear it like cologne. But here's the kicker. Once I mentioned my savings casually, just in theory, her attitude shifted big time. Suddenly, she was all about shared futures and what's mine is yours. She even suggested I delay the prenup talk until after the honeymoon, once things were less stressful. Sure. Then one night, I found something on her phone that sealed it. I wasn't snooping, but her phone buzzed on the kitchen counter, and a message from a friend popped up. I wasn't going to read it until I saw my name. "Girl, you better lock that down. If he's got that kind of money and still shops at thrift stores, he's probably loaded. Get the ring. Then talk him into putting your loans in his name. Just play the long game." Her reply? "Oh, I'm already working on it. I just have to survive the prenup phase." Woo, my stomach dropped like a bad roller coaster. There it was. Not even subtle. I didn't confront her right away. I slept on it, then packed a small bag and left while she was at work. I called off the wedding and sent a calm but firm message. I saw your texts. I deserve better. I wish you well, but this isn't going to work. The flood of messages followed. Guilt trips, crying emojis, even threats exposing me for abandoning her. Expose me for what? Being financially literate? I ignored every single message. She even sent me a Venmo request labeled emotional damages. I laughed so hard, I almost sent her $1 with a note. That was a year ago. I'm now dating someone who has her own money, owns her decisions, and doesn't think marriage is a shortcut to a bailout plan. As for Kendra, well, last I heard, she was engaged again. This time, to a guy who doesn't believe in prenups because love is forever. I give a year and a student loan consolidation form. A prenup isn't about planning for divorce. It's about protecting the person you were before the relationship, your work, your sacrifices, your peace of mind. And if someone gets mad just because you want to protect yourself, maybe they were never with you to begin with. Always at the prenup. And never trust someone who sings show tunes in parking lots on the first date. That's the kind of chaos that'll have you paying off their bachelors in interpretive dance for the next 20 years.